Namaste, everybody. Today I am going to start the second book, that is Supplementary Reader Moments of Standard 9. And I am going to start the very first chapter, that is The Lost Child. The present story has been written by Mulk Raj Anand. So first of all, I would like to give you introduction of this story. The story The Lost Child. There is a child in this story who goes to a fair with his parents. He is happy and excited and wants the sweets and toys displayed there. Here, there is a child in this story, and that child goes to the fair with his parents. He was very happy, very excited. He wants the sweets and toys that were displayed in the fair, but his parents did not buy them for him. Why then does he refuse when someone else offers them to him? And you will be surprised to know when you will go through this story that at one time the parents of that child uh, do not want to buy him the toys and sweets, but on the other hand, a strange man met the boy when the boy or child is lost in the fair, and he offers sweets and toys to the child, and then the child refused to take sweets and toys. So why did the child refuse? When we will read this story, we will come to know. So let us come to the very first paragraph of the story, The Lost Child. It was the festival of spring. From the wintry shades of narrow lanes and alleys emerged a gaily clad humanity. Some walked some roads on horses, others sat, being carried in bamboo and blue carts. One little boy ran between his father's legs, brimming over with life and laughter. So let us see the difficult words first. Here, emerged means came out, gaily means happily, humanity means human beings, and clad means clothed, brimming over means full of excitement and happiness. So the present story is set in spring season, as this was the festival of spring. And from the wintry shade, here wintry shade refers to winter season, and because winter season gets over, and after winter season the spring season starts. So this is the time of spring season, and many people were coming out from their houses through a very narrow lanes and alleys. Some of them walked on the foot, some of them uh, rode on horses, and others were traveling in bamboo and bullock carts. And among them there was a little boy who ran between his father's leg. He was very happy and excited also, because he was going to fair. Come, child, come, called his parents as he lagged behind, fascinated by the toys in the shop that lined the way. So here lagged means left behind, fascinated means attracted. So when the child was going with his parents to the fair, the child was left behind because he was attracted towards the toys that were displayed in the stalls or shops on the way. He hurried towards his parents, his feet obedient to their call. It means the child immediately went to his parents as they called, his eyes still lingering on the receding toys. Here, lingering means lasting for a long time, and receding means left behind. So, here, when the parents called that boy, the boy ran towards his parents, and still his eyes were fixed on the toys that were displayed in the stalls and shops. As he came to where they had stopped to wait for him, he could not suppress the desire of his heart, even though he well knew the old cold stare of refusal in their eyes. So, when the child reached to his parents, when their parents were waiting, the child could not stop the desire of his heart. Although he knew that whatever I asked to my parents, he will not buy anything. But still, the child told his father, I want that toy. He pleaded means requested. The child requested from his father that I want that toy. His father looked at him, red eyes. Red eyes means he became angry in his familiar tyrant's way. Here, tyrant means a very cruel ruler. So, his father became angry like a cruel ruler. He stared at the small child. His mother, melted by the free spirit of the day, was tender and giving him her finger to hold, said, Look, child, what is before you? Now, his father was very angry. On the other hand, his mother, she was very caring, she was very loving. So, she told the boy that caught her finger, and she said, Look, child, what is before you? It was a flowering mustard field, pale like melting gold, as it swept across miles and miles of even land. So, when the mother of the child told him, See what is before you, when the boy saw it was a flowering mustard field, it means it was the field of mustard plants, and pale means yellow like melting gold as it swept across miles and miles of even land. So there was a field of mustard plant, and the flowers were there, and the flowers were yellow, and the flower of mustard were looking like gold. You have seen the gold also, because the color of gold is yellow, and as the gold was melting, similarly the flowers of the mustard field were looking like this, because it was swept across miles and miles of even land. A group of dragonflies were bustling means flying about on their gaudy purple wings. Here, gaudy means extremely bright. So, dragonflies, it is a type of fly, and this was the group. They were flying with their extremely bright purple wings and intercepting the flight of a lone black bee. Here, a lone black bee, it is a type of bee also. So the dragonflies were stopping the way of a lone black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. So all the flies uh, and bees and butterflies were flying over the mustard flower to get sweetness from the flower. The child followed them in the air with his gaze. Here, gaze means vision. So the child followed these insects in the mustard field, and he would try to catch it, but it would go fluttering, flapping. But what happens? The insects started flapping and flew away into the air when the child uh, was to catch them. When he had almost caught it in his hands, it means when the child was about to catch the insects, they flew away. Then his mother gave a cautionary call, "Come, child, come on to the footpath." And at the same time, the mother of the child gave a warning call that, "Come, child, come onto the footpath." He ran towards his parents gaily. Gaily means happily. Walked abreast. Abreast means side by side of them for a while. It means after calling, the boy ran towards his parents happily, and for some time he walked side by side, and being, however, soon left behind. So you have seen in this story that the child left behind again and again. Again, he was attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath that were teeming out from their hiding place. So again, the child was attracted by the little insects and worms along the footpath that were teeming out. Teeming out means coming out from their hiding place to enjoy the sunshine. So again, the child saw the little insects and worms that were coming out from their hiding place to enjoy the sunshine. Again, "Come, child, come," his parents called from the shade of a grove. Grove is a small group of tree where they had seated themselves on the edge of a well. He ran towards them. So again, the parents of that child called them from the shade of a group of small trees uh, where they had seated themselves, and they were taking a rest, sitting on the bank of a well. The child ran towards them. A shower of young flower fell upon the child as he entered the grove. As I have told you that the meaning of grove is uh, a group of small trees. So the moment the child entered the grove, flowers started falling on the body of that boy. So the boy, forgetting his parents, he forgot his parents, and he began to gather the raining petals. Raining petals means falling petals. He started collecting falling petals, but lo, he heard the cooing of dove and ran towards his parents, shouting, "The dove, the dove!" The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands. So, what happens when the child was collecting the petals? At the same time, he heard the sound of cooing of dove. Dove is a bird that is very similar to pigeon. So he ran towards his parents and he started shouting that, the dove, the dove." The raining petals dropped from his forgotten hands. Come, child, come, they called to the child who had now gone running in wild capers round the banyan tree, and gathering him up, they took the narrow, winding footpath which led to the field through the mustard fields. So, again, the parents called, come, child, come, uh, who had gone running in wild capers here. Capers means a playful skimming movement. So the boy was moving round and round of the banyan tree. He was enjoying, he was playing after moving round and round, and gathering him. The parents took him the narrow winding footpath which led to the fair through the mustard fields. So again the parents called the child and took them through the footpath that led to the fair through the mustard fields. So I have discussed some of the paragraph of this story. I hope you all will understand, and now I will ask some questions also. So thank you.